If you've ever worked a night shift, you know the silence. At 3 a.m., your brain starts playing tricks on you. The wind sounds like footsteps. But what happened to a 19-year-old clerk named Alex wasn't a trick of the mind. It was November. A small gas station surrounded by miles of empty, dark woods. Alex was completely alone inside until the driveway bell rang. He looked outside. Nothing. No car, no headlights. Just endless rain and pitch black darkness. So he checked the security monitors. Monitor 1, empty. Monitor 2, empty. Monitor 3. The camera pointing at the dumpster behind the station. Someone was standing exactly at the edge of the light. At first, Alex thought it was just a homeless guy, or maybe a drunk trying to get out of the rain. But then, the figure stepped forward into the light. It wasn't a homeless man. It was someone wearing a filthy, oversized suit. And they were staring directly into the camera, smiling. The rhythm is accelerating. He grabbed the phone to call the police, but when he put it to his ear, the line was dead. Alex looked back at the security monitor. The alley was empty. The smiling man in the oversized suit was gone. Where did he go? Then Alex heard it. The crunch of wet gravel. Right outside the front window. He dropped to the floor behind the counter, holding his breath. And then the front door handle slowly began to turn. Click. It was locked. Thank God it was locked. But the man didn't walk away. He pressed his face against the glass, and through the crack in the door, a raspy voice whispered, "I know you're in there, Alex." How did he know his name? Alex didn't wear a name tag. When the morning shift arrived at 6 a.m., the front door was still locked from the inside. The cash register was full. Nothing was stolen. But Alex was gone, and he has never been seen again. Story number 2, the motel. Working the front desk at a cheap highway motel is already depressing, but doing it at 4 a.m., miles away from the nearest town, is something else. Sarah was a college student. She took the night shift to study in peace. The motel only had 3 guests that night. Rooms 12, 14, and 18. Around 4:15 a.m., the phone on the front desk rang. It was an internal call, coming from room 12. She picked it up. "Front desk, how can I help you?" At first, just static. Then a man's voice whispered,
"There is someone standing outside my window. He won't stop tapping."
Sarah froze. Room 12 was on the ground floor, facing the woods. "I'll call the police," she said, but the man interrupted her. "No, don't. He's pointing at you." Sarah dropped the phone. She slowly turned her head to look out the lobby window. There was no one standing outside. The parking lot was completely empty. But then, she looked at the security monitor. The man wasn't standing outside room 12. He was standing inside the room, staring through the glass, pointing directly at her office camera. And the worst part? Sarah grabbed the guest logbook with shaking hands. Room 12 was empty. No one had checked into that room for weeks. The police arrived 15 minutes later. The door to room 12 was locked from the outside. They kicked it open. The room was pitch black. No one was there. But the phone receiver was dangling off the hook, and the bed was warm. Story number 3. The ward. Hospitals at night are already terrifying. The long hallways, the silence. But working security in a half-abandoned hospital, that's a different kind of nightmare. David's job was simple. Just walk the perimeter, make sure all doors are locked, especially the 4th floor. It had been closed for over 10 years. No power, no patients, just dust and old equipment.
At 2:15 a.m., David was sitting at the main desk when something impossible happened.
The nurse's call board on the wall suddenly lit up. Someone was pressing the emergency button in room 402 on the abandoned floor.
He grabbed his flashlight and took the stairs. The air up there was freezing.
He reached room 402. The heavy wooden door was chained shut from the outside, but from inside the room, he heard the scraping of a metal bed. He shined his light through the small, dirty glass window on the door. The room was empty, just a rusty bed. He slowly lowered his flashlight, and a pale, screaming face slammed against the glass from the dark. David ran. He quit the next morning, but the administration told him something worse. Room 402 was never a patient room. It was the overflow for the morgue. And the emergency call button in that room, it hadn't been connected to electricity in over a decade. Sleep well tonight.